Hey, what's going on, flight simmers? My name is FS Madness, and today we are going to be rounding up this week's news for third-party developers that are creating these amazing add-ons for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But before we get into this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ding dong the little notification bell. To start off, we have some revisions of the 737 by PMDG. Since the release of this amazing Boeing jet on Microsoft Flight Simulator, there was one major issue that everyone has encountered, and that was the cockpit animations, more specifically the yoke. Yes, for some odd reason it was displaying the animation at a cruel 10 FPS, which really lowered the immersion for a lot of people, but thankfully we can say that this has now been fixed with a patch. We'll let Robert Randazzo explain the issues in his own words. We spent a ton of time getting the trim wheel animation correct in the 737 prior to the release, and then along the way someone, who shall remain nameless because he signs the paychecks, accidentally reverted the section of code to original source, which then took the 737 trim wheel animation back to the version that was implemented in the 737 NGX in 2010. So that's it with the 700 at the moment. If you do wish to read the changelogs yourself, I will include that in the description below. Those of you who are waiting for the 737-600 will be sad to hear the plane has been pushed back. In his post, he said the addition of the PMDG lateral flight path model being added to the 737-600 means that a few extra weeks are needed to get everything wrapped up. We were told that more guidance on the release schedule will come soon when the next version goes into testing. About the Microsoft Flight Simulator marketplace. If you're waiting for the plane to pop up in the in-sim marketplace, PMDG said that the time between being sold on the PMDG store and the marketplace will get smaller with future releases. There are discussions going on internally to see if the release of the 600 can happen concurrently, but some items need to be finalised before going with this idea. So moving on, we have a new addition to the general aviation market. For many of those who have been around or involved in military, especially the Royal Air Force Air Cadet, you would have heard an aircraft called the Chipmunk. Well, I can say on the 24th of June, Aeroplane Heaven has released the Chipmunk, and I have to say it looks great, especially at its price. The DHC-1 was developed to replace the legendary but aging DH Tiger Moth as the principal military Air Force two-seater trainer. The prototype first flew on the 22nd of May 1946, and the design remained largely unchanged right through to its withdrawal from service as late as 1996. The bubble canopy version was developed for use by the Royal Canadian Air Force as a fighter such as the P-51D Mustang and North American Sabre jets. If you would like to purchase the Chipmunk, you can get it from the website or on the Sim Market and Orbex for $28.95. The link will be in the description. Now moving on to the most exciting news, we move to JustFlight. JustFlight has announced they will be bringing the Fokker 100, the Fokker 70 to Microsoft Flight Simulator. The planes will be followed by the Fokker F-28 Fellowship, which is also in development by JustFlight. The Fokker 100 was built by Dutch air manufacturer Fokker. Production of the plane ended in 1997 due to Fokker's bankruptcy, but the plane remains a popular regional jet with several operators around the world. Work has already started on modelling and texturing of the aeroplane. However, the coding side is currently still lagging behind a bit, as there are several other projects ahead in the queue that take priority. Nevertheless, JustFlight aims to release this plane somewhere in 2023. It is amazing to see developers focusing so much time and effort into retro airlines, as they are always the ones left behind in the sim community. With the 146 being so well received and seeing the level of quality of it, I am most definitely excited to see what JustFlight will achieve with this very distinguishable Fokker. Finally, our last bit of news is coming from Aerosoft, and more specifically about their CRJ series. The CRJ has now been updated to version 1.0.17.0, which includes fixes, new additional functionality. The fixes relate to fuel and time predictions, some issues with the VNAV, and also with specific callouts in some conditions. As for the new additions, Aerosoft has added a new terrain radar to the aircraft, a new APU exhaust effect, and also support for the Microsoft Flight Simulator steering axes. Some fixes and changes are listed in the changelog, which I have put in the description of this video, and also have linked the forum page in which the update was posted on. The changes apply to all variants of the CRJ and can be obtained by downloading the new update through Aerosoft 1. So if you do not have that installed, you can download it on the Aerosoft website. And for those who aren't aware of Aerosoft 1, it's an Aerosoft program which links all of your Aerosoft add-ons and more to one account, allowing you to install and update automatically. So that's it. To quickly summarise this week's news of amazing third-party developers, it's truly amazing to see the dedication and enthusiasm put into the amazing simulator, and it really raises the question, what is the limit for Microsoft Flight Simulator? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment, tell us what you liked. If not, also let us know what we can improve on, as we're always welcoming constructive criticism. Also, if you want to get more involved, make sure you join our Discord, as we are always talking about the most up-to-date news and sim tips. As always, my name has been FS Madness, and you've been watching Information Alpha.